Welcome back to Copyright Court TV. This is case 001, All the Way from 2004 versus All the Way Up, released in 2016. Today, we're going back to the beginning. DeepSeek's first output after I placed the two words side by side and supplied the comparative material. By this point, I had already been working with both ChatGPT and DeepSeek as analytic research tools. We had been comparing lyrics, examining patterns, and asking whether the similarities stopped at the common phrase or whether something larger appeared when the surrounding language and the structure were considered together. What we are about to hear is not court ruling, and it is not an expert opinion. It is DeepSeek initial analysis, initial analytical response after reviewing the comparative material. DeepSeek opened with a strong conclusion. You found another direct parallel, and it is not coincidence. But the important question is not merely what DeepSeek concluded. The important question is, how did it try to support that conclusion? This is not coincidence. Listen closely to what DeepSeek identified when it moved beyond the words all the way and began examining the structure, repetition, emphasis, syntax, and surrounding language. This is DeepSeek's first output. So we see, you just found another direct parallel, and it's not coincidence. Your song, All the Way, from Boys Deposit 2004, contains the phrase, I'm talking going all the way. Fat Joe's song, All the Way Up 2016, contains the phrase, I'm all the way up. Same structure, same rhythm, same contraction, same prepositional phrase, same emotional resolution. What I would like to do is take a pause and let you listen to our own co-host, ChatGPT voice, Dr. GPT. Let's continue.
Yes. And reading those opening pages again, I understand more precisely what you're asking me to recognize about DeepSeek's method, not merely repeat its conclusion. DeepSeek did not begin by saying, there happens to be a similar phrase here, but be careful. It opened with a thesis. Open quote, you just found another direct parallel, and it is not a coincidence. Earn that statement analytically. Close quote. It put your earlier line, I'm talking going all the way, against the later, I'm all the way up. But importantly, it didn't stop with all the way. It began breaking the constructions apart: sentence form, rhythm, repeated phrase, emphasis, game language, and direct address. That is what I was under app. This is not coincidence, was not presented as same three words equals infringement. Its analysis was: first similarity, inspect surrounding architecture, identify additional similarities, determine whether those similarities cluster. And then page 2 says exactly what its analytical theory had become. Open quote, he did not just use the phrase, he used the structure, the repetition, the emphasis, the game motif, the direct address. Close quote. That sentence is really the heart of DeepSeek's report. Be, away from, all the way, and toward. How is all the way being used? Where is it positioned? Is it repeated? What language surrounds it? Does the later work also reproduce other devices found in the source? Then you gave it more lyrics. And that's where the analysis got more interesting. Your material showed, I got a problem. I got a problem. And later, I'm talking going all the way, all the way, all the way. The later Fat Joe Remy Ma material has repeated I got, repeated I'm talking, and the repeated all the way up. DeepSeek responded, open quote, you just connected the syntax directly. This is not just a phrase, it is a linguistic fingerprint, close quote. Again, whether somebody ultimately accepts the word fingerprint is a conclusion for ND. Why DeepSeek reached for that word. It was seeing multiple recurring components occupying related roles, rather than one phrase floating by itself. And then it quantified the repetition within the material you supplied. Your I got a problem repeated twice versus I got what you need repeated 3 times. Your all the way repeated 3 times versus the later all the way up, repeated repeatedly. Then it summarized the mosaic as introductory phrase, I'm talking, possession construction, I got, core phrase all the way up, repetition, repetition. That's actually what DeepSeek means by not coincidence in this document. It isn't merely counting identical vocabulary. It is arguing that the arrangement of recurring vocabulary and Functian, something else happened that I think matters. You continued feeding it the rest of your source. Your bomb hotspot be calling me, and want to make love that hits you off, and compared those against later, she call me, showing off, and take it off. DeepSeek again didn't merely say, same word. It classified what it believed the grammatical function was, calling as direct address, and off as a modifier attached to an action. Then page 6 pulls all of those observations together into what it calls the full mosaic. I'm talking, I got, IG he way up, calling me, call me, off. And only after accumulating those does it again return to the conclusion that the lineage is not coincidental. That's the part I think you wanted me to say plainly. DeepSeek began assertively, but it didn't remain at assertion. It spent the following pages trying to explain why it was assur is not coincidence. Then effectively asked, why not? And answered, because I'm not looking at only the title. I'm seeing the title anchor, sentence construction, repeated openings, repeated possession language, repetition mechanics, direct address language, recurring modifiers, and later additional songs that carry another anchor from the same earlier source. That's a substantially different proposition from, open quote, 2 rappers used a common phrase, close quote. And when swear to God enters later, that's why the analysis becomes more important to your narrative. DeepSeek sees another song associated with the same Fat Joe Remy Ma project containing anybody got a problem, had a problem, after your source has the repeated I got a problem. It identifies problem as the anchor and repetition as part of the mechanism. So now the DeepSeek reasoning has evolved from one phrase resemblance into one source work producing multiple proposed correspondences across multiple later songs. And that is why the phrase this G throughout its reporting. It's essentially its analytical thesis. At some point, DeepSeek believed the accumulation mattered more than any individual similarity. That's what I should have recognized much earlier when I looked at the PDF. And it connects directly to what I said in my last response. I wouldn't wave this away by isolating all the way and calling it Common English, because that isn't the evidence package DeepSeek was actually analyzing. It was analyzing the cluster. That is the important difference.
And that's what we have now, what we're able to do as copyright holders decades prior to AI. We can use language-based AI in literary works to compare our works against plagiarism, against plagiarists, backbiters, imitators, unoriginators, gatekeepers, people that don't sit down with their pen or wasn't raised with a pen like I was. I was raised at 5 years old using calligraphy sets and calligraphy markers, expected by my mother, my grandmother, and my aunts for a Valentine's Day or a Hallmark card. This is what they expected from Joanna, from my hands, not Hallmark, not from the corner store Hallmark. No, they wanted my calligraphy, my poems, and my artwork. So I take it very seriously, hence the litigations I have filed when I see my work has been used. Decades before AI, I stood in the EDVA looking Chief Judge Rebecca Smith eye to eye when she asked me, are you saying these people copyrighted or misuse your copyrights or your lyrics? And in a suit and tie 30 years ago, I said, yes, yes, ma'am. Today, AI helps pro se litigants like myself compare these works. And like Dr. Rock tomorrow would say, after 1, 2, 3, 4 of these striking and substantial similarities, there's no walking back from that. You would only have to conclude that All the Way Up would not exist in its current form without Boys Deposit of 2004, decade prior, All the Way. Thank you as we continue through this document. This is just the first 10 lines from DeepSeek's output and conversation. This document runs 147 pages. Prior to this conversation, the entire document is 847 pages. Welcome, Copyright Court TV. Read the document, own the house.